Welcome to this updated training on HUD's Good Neighbor Next Door program, current as of August 2026. The Good Neighbor Next Door program, often called GNND, was designed to strengthen America's communities in designated revitalization areas. It offers a significant incentive, a 50% discount off the list price of eligible HUD homes. In return, the buyer must live in the home as their primary residence for 36 months. Eligible participants are full-time law enforcement officers, teachers from pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, firefighters, and emergency medical technicians. The buyer must offer the exact HUD list price when bidding. HUD then applies the 50% discount. Buyers must work with a licensed HUD-registered real estate agent, and only single-unit homes, townhomes, and condominiums are eligible. Let's look at each eligibility category in more detail. For law enforcement officers, the buyer must be employed full-time by a law enforcement agency of the federal government, a state, a unit of general local government, or an Indian tribal government. They must be sworn to uphold the law and make arrests for violations of federal, state, tribal, county, township, or municipal laws. The home must be their primary residence, and there is a reasonable commute expectation to their job location. They must also certify a good faith intention to remain employed in the profession for at least 1 year after closing. For teachers, the buyer must be employed full-time as a teacher by a state-accredited public or private school that provides direct services to students in grades pre-kindergarten through 12th grade. University and college employees are not eligible. The prospective home must be located in the area or district where the teacher instructs, and the teacher must serve students from that area in the normal course of business. For firefighters and EMTs, the buyer must be employed full-time by a fire department or emergency medical service responder unit of the federal government, a state, a unit of local government, or an Indian tribal government. The home must be located in the area where the firefighter or EMT provides service. Full-time employment is required both at the time of bidding and at closing. There are additional purchaser qualifications that apply to everyone. Neither the buyer nor their spouse may have owned any residential real property during the 12 months prior to submitting a bid. Neither may have previously purchased a home under the Good Neighbor Next Door program or its predecessor programs. The buyer must be employed in an eligible profession at the time of the bid and at closing, and must intend to remain employed for at least 1 year after closing. Finally, they must agree to own and live in the home as their sole residence for the full 36-month occupancy term. Now let's cover how the lottery works. Eligible GNND properties are listed exclusively for 7 days. During that window, only qualifying public servants may submit bids. The buyer must bid the full list price. HUD applies the 50% discount after selection. If more than one eligible bid is received, HUD randomly selects a winner and backup bidders by lottery. If no eligible bidder is selected or the winner does not close, the property then becomes available to the general public at the full list price. Lottery entries must be received before the deadline on the 7th day, and winners are typically notified the following business day. Financing options include FHA, VA, conventional mortgages, and cash. Many buyers use an FHA-insured loan and take advantage of the $100 down payment option. You'll see the same financing codes you already know. IN for insurable, IE for insurable with escrow when repairs are under $5,000, and UI for uninsurable when more extensive work is needed. A critical part of the program is the silent second mortgage. HUD requires the buyer to sign a second mortgage and note for the discounted amount. That is, the 50% savings. No monthly payments or interest are required as long as the buyer lives in the home for the full 36 months. If the buyer moves out early, a pro rata portion of the discount must be repaid to HUD. The occupancy requirement is 36 consecutive months as the buyer's sole primary residence. HUD conducts annual certifications and may perform spot checks. the occupancy clock starts 30 days after closing if repairs are $10,000 or less, 90 days after closing if repairs are between $10,001 and $20,000, or 180 days after closing if repairs exceed $20,000. On FHA 203K loans, the occupancy term is extended by 6 months. Active duty military who are deployed may rent the home with prior written permission from HUD. If a participant fails to complete the full 36 months, HUD can demand repayment of the discounted amount on a prorated basis. For example, if the list price was $120,000 and the buyer received a $60,000 discount, then sold after 18 months, HUD would recover $30,000 from the sale proceeds. Leaving the eligible employment category does not end the occupancy obligation. The buyer must still live there the full period. Advise clients not to participate if they know in advance they will leave the profession within the first year. HUD vigorously pursues violators and may foreclose if necessary. Earnest money for GNND properties is 1% of the list price, but no less than $500 and no more than $2,000. If the offer is accepted, the earnest money is credited at closing. If rejected, it is returned. It is subject to full forfeiture if the buyer fails to close. When using an FHA-insured mortgage, eligible buyers can put as little as $100 down. Closing costs, repairs, and other fees may still be financed into the mortgage. Always confirm current lender guidelines. A few key reminders for agents. The buyer's agent must be registered with HUD and hold an NAID number. Always bid the full list price. Never submit a discounted offer. Only single-unit properties are eligible. Employment certification forms are required. And finally, set realistic expectations. Inventory is limited. Properties are only in designated revitalization areas, and lottery competition can be strong. For the latest official information, visit hud.gov/helping-americans/good-neighbor and search listings on hudhostore.gov. The full regulations are in 24 CFR Part 291 Subpart F. Always verify the most current requirements on the individual property listing and official HUD pages before advising clients. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Good Neighbor Next Door program. This training reflects the rules as of August 2026. Good luck helping eligible public servants become homeowners in the communities they serve.